Hi, my name is Daron Bartlett, and I'm a business person finally. So many years ago, I really wanted to get into business, but I thought that being in a professional setting, which is a white-collar job, was an amazing thing. For those of you who know me, I've been a media personality for a long time. Still, I am. I'm doing radio and TV. However, recently, I approached a business person who I told I want to do business. However, I have fear to get into business. And like so many people, many of you have the same fear. First of all, you think that you need capital to start business. And I know that some business people, or if you've had some inspirational speakers telling you that you don't need money to start business. And sometimes it sounds stupid. Sorry for the word, but here's the truth. I started this business of knickers without any single coin. So this is how I did it. I had a friend who has a friend who's a business guy. And when I approached my friend, he was organizing something, an exhibition. And I told him I want to do an exhibition, but I don't have what to sell. Do you mind lending me money? And he took me to another guy, and that guy told me, I'm going to give you the knickers worth a certain amount of money. And he told me, all I need is what you would call capital. Okay. So if every knicker is say 5,000, for him, he wants his 5,000, but whatever I sell on top of the 5,000 would then be my profit. So he's not taking profit. Of course, you know he's taking profit. So he gave me knickers worth a certain amount of money, which I sold. And the first time I made about 300,000 at that exhibition. Just mine. So without injecting in any money. Now, 300,000 was too good to be true. But yes, I made that amount of money. Then eventually, the following exhibition, I did the same. I kept on going back to it because he told me, you come, because the most important thing here I'm going to emphasize is trust. Because he gave me the first time and I delivered. So he now trusted me, whereby every time I went back, I would just tell him, I have this exhibition or I have this market. Give me the knickers worth this amount of money. I'll bring back this amount of money. And we agreed on that principle. Eventually, I became independent because I realized now I have my own money instead of being put on pressure. Hey, the money, how much have you made? All that kind of pressure. I decided the profit that I was making to actually start my own by buying from him. And that's how I started. Now, here's the thing. The biggest problem people have about business, number one, they say capital. But I'm saying, find people who are doing the same business. Go help them do that business. Let them pay you the part of the profit so that you learn the business, you learn the system. When I started knickers, I didn't know sizes of women. I didn't know what it means to create a seamless panty, a thong, a G-string. I didn't know these things completely. Cotton, less. I didn't know these things. But when I was with him at that exhibition, I learned these things. I learned what women like. And that's how I got into a business. So first of all, find someone who's doing the same business that you're interested in, that you want to do. If it's real estate, you have to find someone who does real estate so that you see the loopholes that are there, the jargon, the language. This is what I mean by jargon. Because some women will say something and then you will not understand it. When they say seamless, seamless is just not an English word. For them, seamless are panties that, are elastic, they don't have boundaries, so they are seamless. So you learn that jargon. Then number two, after working with them, they will pay you. When they pay you, build the trust that when you're not there, you can do the business for that muscle. Eventually, break away. Tell them, you know what? How about you give me? Let me go and do it. Give me a house. Let me go and sell it. Give me, SIM cards. Let me go and sell them. Knickers, clothes, all these other things. If you go, sell them. That way, you will now start to understand the challenges that will come with the business. For example, I started with exhibitions. Exhibitions, unfortunately, can be determined by many things. That people may not be there. It can be seasonal. It may rain. Like this morning, it rained, and for somehow we're scared a little bit because by 9, 10, you will have already made your first sale. But today, the first sale came almost at 11. You almost lose hope. So you must understand that businesses have seasons. Now, understand the business you're getting into and when it makes the money. So that's the season number one. Number two, you will have to have a discipline of money. For example, I'll tell you my business. When I'm doing this business, one of the things that will kill you is if someone says, I only want to buy 2 knickers, but you're in, say, Nigeria, the person is on Entebbe Road. So the cost of transport, who foots it? So is it worth it? You leaving your home to go to a table road to sell 2 liquors? It's almost the same. You'll finish the whole money, actually, the transport of going and coming back. So I need to understand those dynamics. So what then do you do? Do you give a border, which could also be costly? Or do you decide to meet in a particular place or post it? You have to find a way to minimize costs of doing a business. First of all, you have injected in. Number 2, transport costs are very high. What you eat when you're doing this kind of business, for example, at an exhibition like today, how much I put in, how much I'm expecting to get out of it, because I put in the cost of a place, the space, the cost of transport, the cost of eating. Now, if my costs are about 200,000, what makes me eat food of 30,000? So if you're going to eat food of 30,000 and you're also going to discount in a very sluggish way, you will have a problem. So the discipline is try not to spend more than 20%. No, let me put it this way. Don't eat 20% of the costs. No, so that's my discipline. If my cost of doing a business is 20,000, it means I'm not going to spend more than 2,000 in terms of facilitating myself, eating or something like that. No, my target must be 100,000. So you can't spend more than 20% of the costs that you've already put in, which means you can't eat. When you've put in 20,000, you can't eat food of 30,000. You can't take a border. You have to take a taxi. You have to minimize the cost. Then number 3, and this one I learned from an Indian who I was working with on another exhibition. He said, you only eat 10% of your profit. You only eat 10% of your profit, invest 80% back into the business, and then save 10%. That formula works. Trust me. So my name is Daron. If you want to learn more about what I do, my company is called Tempt and Tease. So mine is a little bit sexual because I do sexy knickers, not only all kind of knickers. So it's Tempt and Tease. Then you can reach me on 0786 0404 44. Thank you. Stay tuned on this channel, by the way, subscribe and always follow it to get notifications on more tips on how to do business.